I have absolutely no idea what's going on. Earlier today, I shot a video talking about, I was going to post a video that I did on Wednesday called Weird Stuff Wednesday. And I shot the video, I saved it into my phone, I shot it with my camera phone, and for some reason, the video disappeared. Not only did that video disappear, the different versions of that video that I shot, they disappeared. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I hit the wrong button. Maybe I wasn't recording. I don't know. If you're a content creator and you have had videos come up missing on your from your phone, please let me know so I know, so that I will know that I'm not tripping. But anyway, I can't let that stop anything. So now I'm just going to have to shoot the episode that I did all over again, and then I'm going to break it down into the Merkabah. The Merkabah is a spiritual vehicle that we possess. But anyway, let's jump right on into this here. And before I go into this, let me say this here. Hey, yo, peace. This is your man, El Judge, coming right back at you with some of that real talk, real fast, fan, hopefully. Now, yesterday, man, was Weird Stuff Wednesday. It was part of an episode that I used to do back in the days, and I brought it back yesterday. And I thought it was successful. I thought I did all the versions that I did, or the number one version that I did. I thought it was going to be very good, but I didn't post it. But today, I shot a video letting you know that I was going to post it, and I let you know that when I shoot this video, or when we do this here, I'm going to tell a story at the end, and then hopefully that you will have enough time to share this video and to like this video and to, if you're brave enough, do your own version of this video and complete the story. But let's jump into this here. Now, earlier this week, I shot a video talking about portals. And I use a drain, like if you fill a sink up with water, and how the water goes down the drain and it begins to spin and it creates a vortex within. And I said that vortex within it, that vortex was part of the 0 point. Peep gang. Vortex. The energy, the water going down the drain, creating a circular motion and creating an empty cavity within it, leading to the potential 0 point. Now, what if someone was mathematically or scientifically inclined and he figured out a way to do the same thing on the other side? Create a vortex on the other side. You see that there? So now you have a vortex coming this way, and then you have a vortex coming this way, which would both, or in separate, it would be a potential a potential 0 point. But when they both come together, it creates a absolute 0 point. That's very important, because just think, if someone was to create a portal, they would have to bring these 2 points right here together, putting people in a position, or putting whatever in a position to where they can go through it and go through this 0 point right here. This is a 0 point. Now, yesterday in this Weird Stuff Wednesday, and believe me, this was only Weird Stuff Wednesday. Everything that I am talking about here is hypothetical. Everything is this is just straight entertainment purposes only. It's all made up. Now, yesterday I said, what if someone had created a structure, a circular structure, and they had say like a ring or a hoop built within it that would spin in this direction. And then they would make sure that this circular structure was wide enough or thick enough to where they can create the same thing on the other side, and they would have it spinning this way, aiding to a 0 point. Now, not only will they have the rings just spinning, because I want you to think about this here. A fan it spins in circular motion, and when it blows out the air, it blows out the air in this motion right here, or in this shape right here. It blows outward like that. That's the best way I can say it. But if you go to the back of the fan, it's sucking air in. Not only is it sucking air in, it's sucking the molecules, the particles, and everything that make up existence, because everything that makes up existence is within the air. The fan is pulling it in from the other side. Dig it? You got a fan pulling in air from this side, or the molecules from this side, and then you got another fan pulling it in from this side. Because like I said, the back of a fan, it pulls the energy in, and the front of that fan pushes the energy out. Now, going back to this structure and the rings within this structure that are spinning in the opposite direction. Say that someone puts blades on the rings within the structure. Something like that. They put what you would call the blades, and they have the blades angled in a way to where when they spin in the direction that they're going, you have them bent at a certain angle to where it's going to pull the air and the energy in. But then on the opposite side, you have the other one with the I keep mixing that up. I'm sorry. With the fan blades pulling in on the other side as well, and then you have them separated wide enough to where they won't cancel out one another. So each one is this side here is pulling in energy. This side here is pulling in energy, and then the other side is pulling in energy, creating an absolute 0 point within the middle. Like I said, this is all speculation. This is all what if, I don't know. But imagine if that could work and you could create a 0 point. And then you throw something in it and then it goes somewhere, but the thing is, you just don't know where it goes. Like I said, this is all hypothetical, and I really don't know if that would work. Give me a minute because I have to blow my nose, sorry. Please forgive me, man. It's sinus season, man, and I got abundance of mucus in me. I have to eliminate to stop my sinuses. But like I was saying, what if someone would create something like that? And what if it did work? Now here's the story that I made up behind that, the creation of a portal. Now I made up a story talking about agreeable people and disagreeable people. And then I said that, what if there was a place where agreeable and disagreeable people lived, and they were somewhat at war with one another, but the agreeable people had love in their hearts, so they didn't go so hard up against the disagreeable people. But the disagreeable people had malice in their heart, and they wanted to destroy the agreeable people, because they knew that if the agreeable people were to become more powerful, it would destroy everything that the disagreeable people love, because they love doing disagreeable things. And then I said that, what if the disagreeable people, if they came together, put their sources together, meaning finances, and spiritual sources, meaning their energy together, and they managed to overrule a government which was meant to be governed over all of the people and be fair. But the disagreeable ones, they managed to take over that government. And not only did they take over that government, they were able to take over the military. And not only were they able to take over the military, they were able to take all the people who thought like them and who supported them and deputize those people and use them against the agreeable people. And And then I said, what if they were to create portals, created something like that, and they were to place them in many different spots around the places where these agreeable and disagreeable people live. But the disagreeable people were like, you know what? We've gotten the power and we got our minions who were deputized. We're going to use our power to take over these agreeable people because we don't want these agreeable people to become powerful. So we're going to take them and we're going to march them into these things that we call portals. And they, like I said, they placed these portals everywhere. Now they took these portals, right, the 0 points, and brought them together, and they built ramps and had these people walking into these structures, and when they would walk into these structures, they would disappear, and nobody knew where they went to. Now, say that the world courts came that these people said, you had absolutely no right to do that to these people. What made you do that? We're going to charge you with unaliving a bunch of people. But then they were to say back to the people, well, we don't know if they were unalived or not. They just disappeared. That's what I talked about. Now, that right there, you can use your own imagination and then you can build onto that story. Be brave. Shoot a video and give your version of the story. If you want to change that part, that story, change it. But if you want to add to it and say, well, they went on to another blank, 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 and they all blank, 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 leave it. I'm going to leave it up to you. This is your time to shine with this here. Because let me tell you, if you give us a good enough story, or if we, the collective, create a great enough story, I promise you, you might have to go to YouTube to watch these things, because I don't know how this TikTok thing is going to work out, but I promise you, I would dedicate myself and I would take whatever money I need to take and buy the proper apps that I need to buy, and I will do this story in movie form, 3D. I will use animation. I will use 3D animation, and I will create a story or create a movie that we as a collective create. I promise you that. Now let's continue. Now, the videos that I did earlier, prior to all of this here, talking about the creation of a vortex and the creation of a portal and the possibilities of it, some people started to really think, and they started to think about, well, they started to ask me, they said, well, could you talk about the creation of a Merkaba and how can we create a Merkaba? And I was like, man, these doggone people, man, they smart, boy, and they know how to ask the right questions. And I like, you know what, man, I'm going to take a stab at it, and I'm going to tell us what it takes to create a Merkaba. Because the Merkaba is nothing less than the energy within. But you have to have something to ignite that energy, or you have to have something to create the energy that creates the Merkaba. And you do have it, but you have to put it into use. And the main thing that you need is your imagination. You have to think on a higher level. Remember, I said in videos earlier, I said that in order for you to go on to higher dimensions, it takes study. And not only does it take study, you have to develop the ability to see what you are thinking, but you already have that ability. You just have to take it up to higher levels and higher dimensions. Now, what is a Merkaba? A Merkaba is two what you call tetrahedrons, which are three-sided pyramids, two tetrahedrons merged together and spinning in opposite directions to create a spiritual vehicle. Yeah, that was a mouthful, I know. This right here is a Merkaba. Now, if you really look at it, you will see the 6-point star. And you see that? Yes. Now, when you're dealing with the Merkaba, when you see the peak of it, upward, the peak of the Merkaba, when you see it at the top, this represents the divine feminine. You see that? It's just like that triangle pointing down, the divine feminine. Now, I want you to use your imagination. When you see a female and she is unclothed and you look at this area right here, it looks like what? Like that. Is that not a portal? You came through it. Now let's continue. Now, we already established that when it's protruding from the top, it represents the divine feminine. But when it's protruding from the bottom, when the tetrahedron is protruding from the bottom, it represents the divine masculine, the energy going up or the energy coming out. You follow? Okay. Now, like I said, if you really look at this here, you can see the 6-point star. This is the merging of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Now let's go back. The divine masculine and the divine feminine energy. Bringing them together. You get the 6-point star. Now, like I said, this is the absolute 0 point. But this is what it looks like in the center. It is the merging of these two energies, the divine feminine and divine masculine within the universe. Now, you must use your imagination. You must be able to see the energy of the divine feminine. You must be able to see that tetrahedron of the divine feminine in the body. You have to visualize it so much that you can literally feel that energy. And then you have to see the tetrahedron of the divine masculine. Excuse me. Bless you. Thank you. And you must see the energy of the divine masculine protruding from the body. And then you must visualize one spinning in one direction and the other spinning in the opposite direction. Your visualization has to be on point. When they were hitting your desk and telling you to quit daydreaming, they were trying to destroy your imagination. The gentleman that we call Albert Einstein, if I'm not mistaken, he said that your imagination is much more powerful than knowledge. I don't know if he knew what he was saying, but he was absolutely right. The higher you go up on the dimensions and the more you are able to see what you are speaking of or to see what other people are speaking of, which you are very good at doing because you listen to my videos. You have to visualize what I'm saying. The more that you can see these things and put yourself in a state of imagination, you can make this thing that you call the Merkabah work. Now, let's continue. I'm not done with you yet. Now, we are very aware of what this is. This is the Taurus field. The Taurus field looks basically like a donut. Energy circulating, coming through, and circulating again. But at the same time, while you have energy going this way within the Taurus field, you also have a burst of energy coming this way. Creating the absolute 0 point. See those triangles? This is where your God force exists. But anyway, this is your man, L Judge. It took me 20 minutes to do this here. I really hated to take up that much of your time, but I'm going to have to post this real fast because I do not want to take it off of this, and I do not want to do this video again. But like I said, man, please hit repost. Please leave a comment. And if you can, and if you are brave enough, add to that story that I told you and give us your version of what happened to the people when they went through that portal. Peace be the lesson. I'm out.